Testing 1, 2, 3. Everybody hear me? Good morning, ML. I had some issues this morning with my streaming software getting it going. So that's why I'm a little bit late here today. How about that 720 level I called last Friday? You know what? It's funny you say that because I was looking at that last night. Or maybe it was this morning when I was clearing my charts out with all my chicken scratch on them. And I saw the ML 720 level that I drew in there, and then it got hit. So good call on that one. So yeah, with my streaming software this morning, I ended up doing an update with the software just before I was about to go live, and for some reason it screwed everything up. My video camera wouldn't work after that, so then I had to restart my computer. Still wouldn't work. Restarted it again, and there was some like security setting I had to set in the operating system. And it still wouldn't work. So then I had to reboot my phone. And then because I use my phone for my webcam. And after I rebooted my phone, everything started working again. So here we are. Good morning, Raphael. So I'm already having a decent morning. Well, my trading is anyway. My daughter's homesick today, so I didn't have to get her ready to go on the bus. So I was able to sit down a little bit earlier and put my first trade on right after 7 this morning. We had this pullback near that lower power zone after being in this uptrend, and I was going to keep a short leash on it since we just closed under that confirmation line, but went in with 4 contracts, took 2 off at 80. Here, let me make my P&L large so you can see what I've done this morning so far. So I took 2 off at 80, and then it ran to 125. I took a 3rd contract off, and I left a runner on for this first tick down from the upper power zone. So I exited right there at 63 points on the last contract. Then we got a delta squeeze here to go short. So I went short. I got 80 here. You could see. I got 80 ticks on that with 2 contracts, and then we ticked up from the lower power zone. So where's that tick up? Right here. So then I exited the last 2 at 14 1/4. And then we ticked down from the red zone right here. So I went short, and we ticked up right after that, and that ended up being a loser, 9.5 points on that. And then we got our tick down from the upper power zone with the delta still under the confirmation line. So I took that short, got 80 ticks on the first 2 contracts, took a 3rd off at 125, and then I took the remainder off when we ticked up from that lower power zone at 814. So that was another 25.5 points. So putting all that together, I'm currently up to 61.50. So let's go ahead and check out the news today. Looks like not a whole lot going on today. We have new home sales, medium impact at 9 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow, let's see. Durable goods at 7:30. Not sure if that's going to do much. Consumer confidence tomorrow at 9. Other than that, not a whole lot. So we got the delta under this falling confirmation line. So I'm currently bearish at the moment. Checking out the higher time frames. Let's see here. We are, well, 15 is actually bullish. I'm going to flip that to bullish. 5-minute is also bullish. And the 3-minute is bullish. All those deltas are above the confirmation line, so that's why those are marked as bullish. Just need the one to fall back in line, which it's not yet. So so now we just wait. Got the market open here in about 2 minutes. Good morning, Schroden. How you doing today? Got a fairly thin and weak delta, even though we're bearish on the 1. It's thin and spotty. It's kind of dangerous at the moment. So I'd just hold off here until we get some movement coming in here, hopefully in 10 seconds. Yeah, I don't think she's all that serious. She's got a sore throat today. So keep her home today and see how she is later this afternoon. Might have to bring her to the doctor. We'll see. And we are open. Initial push is to the upside here. Our ATR is relatively high this morning. It's at a 60. Same story there, huh? You have a sick kid with a sore throat? Stomach thing, huh? I feel like my family kind of went through a stomach thing not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. Hopefully all that's behind us now. Well, we got some fat delta candles on our hands. Makes sense with the higher time frames being bullish. Picking our way to VWAP, which is up here at 257. That is quite the push. Wow. That last candle was 89.5 points. Notice how just before the open, the 3-minute ended up ticking up from that lower power zone. If you're trading 3, that was a long right here at 821. Beautiful move so far. Let's put this on the 3 and see what that would look like. Oops, what did I do? Put this one on the 3. There we go. So this is the 3-minute chart. Here's that tick up from that lower power zone. Looks like 80 ticks would have been too little for it. For stop. Need at least 28 points to make that one work for stop. That's a pretty big stop. Nevertheless, it was a big winner. If you took that to VWAP, it'd be 125 points. ATR's at a 95 now, so it's getting a little dangerous. Got a pivot point sitting up here at 308. Previous week low up here at 370. The average daily range up here at 445. We also have the London high up here at 412.75. Delta candles are back above that confirmation line on the 1. Well, I feel like I don't have to do too much right now. I've already had a pretty good pre-market. You know, sometimes I wonder if I should just trade pre-market only. And once New York starts, that's when I start having some troubles. But I'm sitting pretty good as we speak, so... You know, when I start the day good, I tend to do better. Because I don't feel like I have to take everything. I should probably try to trade that way all the time. I think I said that last Friday. I trade less when I'm doing well, and I trade more when I'm doing bad. It's one of the things I need to work on, is just trading well all the time. Only take those really, really nice setups. It's one of my goals recently is to try to trade a little bit less. Not too much, because if you trade less, well, let me put it this way. I should trade less setups that don't really align with the playbook. Yeah, put it that way. But if they align with the playbook, I should still take them. Where I get in trouble, though, is when I start venturing outside the playbook and I see other things in the charts. That's where I get in trouble. So, in other words, I just gotta stick to my rules. We had this tick up right here above this rising fat delta. That's typically a long. It's kind of a little less than ideal, being that we just pumped up to that VWAP. But looks like it still would have worked. That would have been, that's 80 ticks right there. That's 125. So I would have hit both of those. But I'm also trying to not take as many of these setups that are in the red zone either, so it's one of the reasons why I passed on it. Sitting on top of VWAP now. Yeah, Schroden, trade well all the time. That's what I have to do. Or that's one of my goals. I might never get there. It's a good goal to have. Back down to that 8 SMA. Let's see if we bounce here. ATR's at a 121. That's another reason to maybe sit out on this for a while. So easy to get stopped out. Almost up to that pivot line there. Again, that's at 308. I haven't seen JWAS yet today. Maybe he's still sleeping. Yeah, ML, I can do that. ML says, not sure if you have time now, but I would be very curious to know what the indicator showed in overnight session for the Delta candles. All right, let's go back and check that out. Where would you like to start? Looks like we started dropping all the way here in, well, first of all, we gapped down right at the open yesterday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Let's go through this. We had this thin, spotty delta down here. Confirmation coming down. So if we're looking for highest probability setups, we want delta slope and confirmation slope to match. Here you have a positive delta slope. Now the slopes are starting to match. Here's where we get our first lower high. It is in the green zone, but as long as both slopes match, a lot of times it doesn't matter if it's in the green zone. So let's just mark some of these out. So like this would be a short right here. And if you follow the delta, like if you're trying to maximize your profit on these, and Well, there's a lot of different ways you could do that. Anyway, let's just mark the entries because your exit strategies could be very different. You could exit on delta cross, you could exit on a high or low. So there's lots of different ways you could do that. You could trail it, but obviously that would have been a winner. Here's a third high or low. So here's 1, 2, 3. Still negative delta, still negative confirmation line. So wherever you exited there, you can always jump back in here. And again, if you take that for a thin delta cross or high or low, here's a high or low here, here's a high or low here. So you would have at least got 43 points out of that, maybe more. Delta's back above confirmation line there. So you probably wouldn't be looking for shorts there. But if you wait for slopes to match, which happens right here at this third lower high, you could short that one right here. That would have been a good winner. Again, you can take it to a higher low or take it to a delta cross or delta exhaustion, which doesn't happen until here, 752. That's a good winner. Delta's back above confirmation line. This one, you could have tried maybe a short there, might have broke even. But now we're back above confirmation lines heading up. So this is a potential long. It's really thin and spotty though. So you kind of playing with fire there a little bit. Probably would have been a small loss on that one. Here's another long right here. At this tick up right there near that lower power zone. Oops. That looks like it would have been a good winner. And now we're back under. Slopes match. Not really much of a high or low on that one. So you could have probably shorted that one. Had a winner. Red zone's usually a little bit better. Here's red zone. There's looks like that would have been maybe a small winner on that one. Here's slopes match again. Got a short there. Got another short right here, right next to it. If you take that to, here's a little bit of a delta squeeze right there. So you definitely would have been wanted to be out right there on that one, but that's a good winner. Yeah, it looks like these just play out over and over overnight. Looks like there's another little short there. Another one right here. Where's it? Right there. It's another lower high with negative delta slope. Confirmation line's fairly flat right there. You take that to the next higher low. So that'd be a winner right there. Now we got London session starting. So again, we got, I mean, you can short these. I used to take these. I'm trying not to take these as much anymore, but so here's a lower high, but a higher high in price. So that's bearish divergence there. But you got the delta heading up and you got the confirmation line heading up, so it's kind of a risky trade. This one actually plays out beautifully though. Nice move to the downside. If you take that to your first high or low, that's right there. It's 57 points. Weak delta, weak spotty thin delta. Here's your first lower high right here with the weak delta. So you could have shorted this. It's another nice move down. Beautiful move. If you take that to the first tick from the power zone, it's 43 points. If you take that to the first higher low, that would be 78 points. If you take that to delta exhaustion, that would be here at 101 points. Here, let me pause and read the comments quick. Very helpful. Just wanted to see how well it would have aligned with my possible entries. I have to get ready to take my daughter to the bus stop. I will be back at 9:30. Keep going, and I will watch once the live recording is posted. Okay. See if I can do this fairly quickly. So this tick down from the upper power zone, that would have been a good short. Just because, see, at this point, we're in what we call the sustained downtrend. So you can really take, when you're in a sustained trend, you could take any of these tick downs from that upper power zone there. So that could have been a really good move. Here's a lower high from the red zone. Another potential winner there. Here's a power zone short. Here's a lower high. The lower high is better. But here, if you look at it, looks like the delta keeps trying to climb above this confirmation line, and confirmation line is starting to have this positive slope to it. So at this point, you might want to be more selective with your short entries. However, just looking at this, it looks like they do keep playing out. Here's a lower high right here from the red zone. If you take that to delta exhaustion, it brings you all the way over to here. Let's see where that gets you. That's 321 points. I'd say that's a pretty darn good trade. Now we're clearly got rising confirmation line on here, so now you can start going long. Not that one. Right here. That's a long, depending where your stop is, you might get stopped out of that, but here's another long right here. That one looks good. Take that to that tick down from the upper power zone. That's 56 points. Anyway, I don't have to keep marking these, but there's a long, here's a long, here's a short, and then this morning, I already went over this morning. There's the long from this morning. So lots of good trading when I was sleeping last night. So hopefully that helped a little bit. It was an amazing night, actually, if you look at it. Well, we have a bit of a parallel channel here. A rising parallel channel, which is it's kind of just, see how it's like just kind of grinding. It's not really going up very strongly. That makes me think it's going to want to break down here soon, and when it breaks down, it could be fairly hard. We'll see. Delta's still looking bullish, though, on the 1. Uh-oh. There we go. My chart wasn't moving on me. My TradingVIew was freezing up a little bit. Everything's still bullish across the board. Still nothing I would have taken in here. This is all just kind of crap price action in my mind. The Delta's still looking pretty strong, but it's dangerous to dangerous to take any of these tick up entries here. Maybe maybe a higher low if the Delta's really strong. So let's just see if those would have worked out. So here's one, here's a higher low. So that's higher than this one. Looks like that still would have been decent trade. This is a lower low. This right here is a higher low. Entry would have been there. But back to that 8 SMA, back to break even. So this grindy price action can lead to some poor results, so I would not recommend it. It's 9 o'clock here. Didn't we have some news at 9? Let's see. What was it? New home sales. That's what it was. Not sure if those numbers actually came out yet. Yeah, see, this probably would have been a loser had you taken that other one. Starting to see a little exhaustion in that delta now. Happy Monday, Jason. Good morning to you. Starting to break down a little bit from that rising parallel channel. Our ATR is still over 100. Still kind of dangerous. It's only dangerous if your timing isn't right. If your timing is right, you can actually use that to your advantage. You know, it looks like everything kind of had a big drop last night. Bitcoin, I know, had a fairly decent drop as well. A lot of the altcoins really pulled back hard last night. Bitcoin's trying to bounce, though. Went all the way down to 97,681. It's currently back up to 102. All right, we are getting a tick up here from this green zone. That could be a long right here. It's a big candle. I don't like entering on big candles. I think I'm going to hold off on this one. Might be able to snag along on the 8. I'm going to personally wait for either a power zone tick up or a higher low. Got a thin and spotty delta here, so do have a little bit of chop. Got to be careful. Chop with a high ATR is usually not a good combo. You might want to sit out. However, we are putting in a higher low in the green zone. So technically, this would be a long. I just went ahead and took that long. We'll see if I can get anywhere with it. Might end up getting stopped out in the chop. I'm in at 21,311.62 on average. 311, we'll say 311.50. Yep, and I ended up paying the price on that. Was not an ideal setup, like I said. So it's my first full stop of the day. So that is 4 contracts, full stop. Yep, Schroden, that's a pretty good rule to have. High ATR plus chop equals stay out. The price could go your direction, but with the chop, you're very easily to get stopped out in the process. Chop actually started back here, so I'm gonna expand my chop box a little bit. Market's looking fairly heavy, at least on the 1 minute. Starting to get exhaustion on the 3. Ticking down from that upper power zone on the 15. And back to VWAP we go. We got the session VWAP sitting down here at 236. Kind of sandwiched right in between. It's like we have a lot of gap to fill down here. But as for the moment, we are finding a little bit of support here on that anchored VWAP. It's also ticking up from that lower power zone here. Still big candles. ATR is still through the roof. Like that power zone tick up would have worked. Now we're getting some momentum back in the market. It's not really showing a whole lot in the delta. The price is rising, but the delta is kind of A little lackluster for that price move. Here's the 15-second chart. Looks like it had a nice bounce here on that session VWAP. That's where we had our delta cross in that lower power zone. I don't know about this move. Kind of feels like a trap. Raberstein 21,323 is a big Gann level. It's been hitting and rejecting since 8:45 a.m. 21,323, huh? $21,323. That's right here. We'll see if it can get through. It looks like it just broke the high. Delta is starting to ramp up now. These Delta candles are getting a little thicker. also starting to see look at that pinpoint accuracy on that trend line. It's starting to look like a broadening formation here. We are back up to previous week low, which is at 370. Delta is back above the confirmation line. That is bullish. We also got the 5-minute still cruising up. That still looks pretty bullish. The 3 still looks pretty bullish. G2 triple high divergence, the 5-minute delta, the signal line, you mean? 5-minute signal. I'm not seeing any divergence yet. We might get there though. If we get a tick down underneath this high, if it prints a lower high, we would have some bearish divergence there. But so far, she's still cruising. Speaking of divergence on the 5, and I'm not sure if this is what you meant, but there's bullish divergence here. There's a higher low on the signal. We've got a lower low in the price. Well, no, not exactly. Never mind. I was looking at this low here, but that doesn't correspond to this signal over here, so never mind. Still cruising up to that broadening formation line. See if we take London high. That's sitting there at 412. It's a fairly strong move up. That's the thing with these broadening formations. When it decides to go from one end to the other, it's usually pretty quick. And I should have had my eye on that after we took out this low, but I was kind of sleeping on that part. But had I been watching us take this low out, and then seeing that that confluence with that anchored VWAP and that trend, and that trend line, and the tick up from the power zone, it's a little bit of the trifecta going on there. It should have taken that long. Definitely would have got 80 ticks and 125. Would have had a runner on, taking that at least to the tick down from that upper power zone. So that would have been right here. So that runner would have been 110 points. That would have been nice. Now that we're at the top, we do have a little bearish divergence here. We just put in a lower high, and we did kiss that trend line. That is a potential short opportunity up there, but I'd wait for Delta to start to exhaust a little bit more. And we're so close to London high, I feel like it wants to take that out. Hey, JWaz is here. Good morning, JWaz. Well, I almost was not here today because my software decided to get all screwed up. I'm using OBS for the streaming software, and it had an update this morning. And right before I went on stream, I was like, oh yeah, I should install this update just in case. And I installed it, and then my camera didn't work. So I had to reboot my machine a bunch of times. I had to reboot my phone. And that's ultimately what fixed it, was rebooting the phone. So now we're back. Yeah, ML, no problem. Yeah, JWAS, since you're just joining us, I went over very quickly. I went over the overnight session. I just did a really quick like skim through. So you might want to go back and check that out if you're interested. So close to London High. Did we take it? London High was 21,412, and this high was what? 21,412. So we have not swept it yet. So close. It's going to do it now. There it goes. Now we have swept London High. Back to that broadening formation line. Still not a whole lot to do here. Showing a little bit of bearish divergence here. Printing a lower high on the signal, higher high on the price. Also showing a little bit of exhaustion in the delta. That might be a decent short. Personally, I'm waiting for a little bit better of a setup. Well, I'm going to go check on my daughter since she's homesick today and refill my coffee, and I'll be back. All right. I am back. What did I miss? Looks like that bearish divergence is playing out after sweeping London high. So far, anyway. Sitting here at previous week low, just under it at the moment. We got the signal in that lower power zone. Starting to get a tick up from that lower power zone. This could be a long here. We are in somewhat of a sustained uptrend. So even though Delta is starting to cross under that confirmation line, this could be a long if we tick up here, but looks like it's starting to reject. Still not getting the tick up. ATR still relatively high at a 95. Still dropping here. And we did tick up from that lower power zone. Still not feeling this one after hitting the top of that broadening formation. So for me, I am staying out of this one for now. Might jump in if we put in a higher low. We're starting to flash a higher low here. Of course, it's got to be a giant candle. So I'm going to set a limit order, try to get in a little bit lower, get a little bit of a discount. Might miss the trade by doing that. That's always the risk. But that is a long there. And I just got tagged in. $3.59. Oh, my stop looks so tiny. Totally gonna lose this one too. Yep, I just got taken out. I am not having good luck with this ATR. Well, it is what it is. So that is another 4 contracts at my full 80 tick stop. That brings that to 8. I said earlier I wasn't really feeling this one because we already hit the top of that broad information. I should have stuck with my gut. Wouldn't be surprised if we come all the way back down here and take out this low 226, or no, 227.75. What is ATR currently? 99, almost 100. Got the 10 o'clock hourly candle here in about 50 seconds. JWAS, thank you for bringing that up. I just remembered that. My dad told me yesterday that there's a lot of earnings coming out this week, which could make the markets kind of nasty, choppy. Taking a look at your screenshot that you just sent over, JWAS. Does it say, oh yeah, it says when these are, so before open or after close. Looks like Tesla's on Wednesday. Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, IBM, that's probably going to be a big day. Thursday, Apple, Intel, Visa. So Wednesday and Thursday are probably pretty big. On Tuesday, Boeing, GM. That's before the open. What is that, Starbucks? After the close. Interesting. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday are the big days, plus FOMC rate decision this week. Also on top of that, yeah. Well, I've told myself in the past, I wish I knew. I always find out about earnings when it's too late. And I always say I wish I knew ahead of time so that I could just stay out and not trade those days. Maybe trade the early morning and then just call it quits. So we'll see. Well, so far today, I would have been better off had I quit after I traded the beginning of pre-market up until the 8:30 open. And I was doing pretty good up until that point. Looks like we're coming back to VWAP. So yeah, at least now that I got that on my radar, I can pay a little closer attention to when we're chopping and decide to call it quits. Well, this move down is pretty nice, except for it didn't really give us a clean entry for it. Same with this move up here. So far, those were the only two good moves if you don't count this open push. There wasn't really an entry for that either. Looks like BTC still kind of falling here. We're back above 102, but now we're back to 101. So, anybody know the big reason for the drop? Not only did Bitcoin drop, but everything else did too. We gapped down yesterday. Back to VWAP we go. Crashing through VWAP, actually. Looks like we're going to head down and take out that low. It was related to Chinese AI release called DeepSeek that claimed to have a shoestring budget and be way better than the current American AI. Seriously? Who claimed that it's better? Is it really better? So everyone's saying the whole AI spending narrative is NVIDIA, etc. is in trouble. Uh-oh. Does that mean NVIDIA's fallen too? Probably. Oh my gosh. My mom is not going to be happy. My mom is in NVIDIA. She was all excited about it. Yeah, look at this gap down on NVIDIA. Almost 15%. Wow. She's got something with NVIDIA. I don't know what it is. She's probably getting all her news from Fox Business. But yeah, Tesla is looking a little better. ML says that was really just fuel to the fire, but there's a reason I called 720 last week. Treat that news like FOMC or CPI. It only took us 2 levels faster, but they were already determined. I do agree with a lot of that. All news events, in my opinion, just take you 2 levels faster that you can already see in the charts. You know, it's interesting, like if you go over to ADA and you go over to like the daily chart, you can see on the daily before any of this happened, this is a clear short on the daily. This is a clear short on the daily. And if you circle that, and then you go to, say, the 4 hour, you can see the circle. But then on the 4 hour, this ends up becoming the next short, and this is the next one after that. You can see it all before it happens, usually. It's just interesting. You never know what news is going to push it, but you can see it building on the indicator before that. Doge, same thing. You can see this is the daily chart. That's a short. So see, we had this nice strong push up, crossing on the confirmation line. So the sellers are starting to have the advantage. Pull back up in that upper red zone. There's your short. There's your second short. Go over to the 4 hour. You can see the short signals there. And the next one in the red zone right here. That was Tuesday at 6 p.m. Last Tuesday at 6 p.m. was a short, and she continues to tumble. ML says, all I can say is look at the bigger picture. Understand that assuming there is an algo in the market, then it has to have inputs. Someone in the developer space, I think of if-else statements. Yeah, true that. I am there with you. The algo has to be referencing various levels to not push too far away before certain conditions are met. Yep. ML says, the move today seems very, very aggressive, but if you think about the logic of price, we failed to clear previous month's high, and we logically went to the previous month low. That is true. Yeah, previous week low is where we rejected from. See, the delta's really thin, but we got this aggressively down-sloping slope, which is usually a leading indicator where price is going to go. I'm pretty sure we're going to take out this low. We just need a good way to time our entry. And I don't see a good entry signal yet. We also have the delta crossing below the confirmation line on the 3 finally. So that is now bearish. Still working on the 5 and 15 though. ML says, now start taking fibs from previous monthly range or previous weekly range, and it will start to blow your mind. You know, I used to do fib trading quite a bit, and I stopped doing it primarily because the new methods that I implement now, at least for me, tend to be better. My performance was always a lot better this way. And that way I can ignore all of the fib levels and just take the signals on the cumulative delta. For me, that ends up working out better. But yes, I agree. Fib levels do work. This is just much better for me in my eyes. I get to time the entries a lot more accurately. And if it wants to blow through a fib level or something, I don't get caught off guard with that. It would be nice if the market would give us a good signal, though. Yeah, ML, if you combine the two, I'm pretty sure you'll find something there that works for you. I'm just more of been in the mindset the last year or so of just trying to keep it somewhat simple and just focus on this indicator mainly. And obviously I got some other levels and stuff in here that kind of influences me, but honestly, I think all of that is unnecessary. I don't think you even need it. The variable range of the low time frame is what I still struggle with. I can call directional targets, but entries is the biggest issue for me. Well, if entries are the biggest issue, I think the cumulative delta can certainly help with that. So as long as you can target a zone and then use the signals in the playbook for your entries, and then if you're targeting a much larger target, once you're entered and price moves away from you, you can move your stop to break even and just let it ride. Marcelo, hello, welcome. From Brazil, wow. We do have what looks to be a bear flag setting up here. And as you can see, the slope of the delta usually predicts price. It's pointed down, usually heading down. Just got to time that entry right. Now, even though we've been in the green zone down here, one thing that I want to get better about doing is entering in the green zone. I know the playbook tries to keep you more on the safer side and only taking the ones from the red zone. But one thing that I want to get better at is taking, because a lot of these entries down here still work out with a very high win rate as long as the delta and the confirmation line have the same slope. So confirmation line's pointed down, delta's pointed down. As long as they're both pointed down, you can take entries from the green zone, but you're better off waiting for a lower high in that case, which we haven't seen yet. That's what I'm waiting for. So every one of these highs is a higher high. I want a lower high. Which is why I have not entered anything yet. So in ML, I'm kind of the same as you. Is like I know where, like I have a pretty good idea where price is going to go. But timing your entries to get there is kind of the hard part. It's like once we went to the top of this broadening formation and we took out that London high, and we started to reject from this area, my target then becomes this low down here, and we just took it out. So like I was expecting this move. I was just waiting for an entry somewhere in there, and I didn't get it. Sometimes you just don't get the entry, you know? Even though you're right with the move. Based on your system, 1046 and 1055 are the most ideal entries, huh? 1046. Let's see where that is. Okay, right here. And 1055. So on mine, the best entry, well, and in hindsight, this is easy to see, but I didn't take this for whatever reason. But this was the best entry here is when it printed this bearish divergence. So we hit the broad information line, took out London high, and immediately right after we printed this bearish divergence. We had this lower high from the upper power zone. And I probably should have just taken it, but I forgot what my reason was why I didn't. I was looking for more of a delta squeeze looking setup. Wanted the delta to exhaust first, start showing us a negative slope, and then get a tick down somewhere in this vicinity. That's what I was waiting for. We just never got it. And I think reason why I bowed out of that one is because the ATR has been so high. So if you don't time it just right, you're going to get stopped out. Starting to close in on these gaps down here. Oh, you can't see my ATR? You know, my camera was screwed up earlier, and I think it changed the dimensions of how I normally have it set here. Let me see if I could fix that. Is that how I normally have it set? Something like that? My mug was too big. There we go. Oh, shoot. That means I got to fix it on this other one, too. All right. Let me fix that one. Why are they different? That is so weird. Again, that's this OBS software that I'm using. There we go. Does the playbook work? Yep. News? Yep. See delta. Large P&L, small P&L. There we go. Back in action. This OBS software, it's free, but it's kind of buggy. Uh-oh, a little person's calling my name. I'll be right back. Still looking like another little not bull flag, a bear flag sitting here. Could potentially make another leg down here pretty soon. Also printing a delta squeeze, so to the upside, actually. Might get a little bit of a pullback up first. There's not much of a positive slope on that delta, so I'd be a little cautious about taking that long. I'm actually looking for a short still. As long as that delta is negative, we got that falling confirmation line. I am more short biased. We did print a little bit of a lower high there. You could have taken that short at 1035. I missed it. It was a little slow on the trigger. I just got tagged in at the 8. I am short at 208.50. Looks like I'm gonna regret this one too. Crap. I am not having a good New York session here. It's my 3rd full stop in a row. I was doing so good earlier. That's another 4 contracts. At 80 ticks each. Well, that's why taking shorts from the green zone above the delta is risky. I just can't get a good timed entry on these. Not yet, anyway. Don't even tell me that it just went up there just to take me out. Isn't that the worst feeling? Yeah, it's tough. You know, that's the other thing that I always find myself doing is like if I keep seeing a move in a direction and if I don't get an ideal entry, I start getting a little bit of FOMO, and then I'll take an entry that's less than ideal. Like this one right here was less than ideal at 1035. But it looked like it was still pushing down, so then I moved my limit order back to what that would have been had I grabbed it at 1035. But then it just shot right through me. So I'm still looking for shorts, but I need a lower high at this point. With a weak delta or a tick down from the red zone. That's very frustrating. So is this DeepSeek thing like available for anybody? Is it open to the whole world? And is it free? Does it cost anything? Really? It's free to use, huh? I'm going to have to check it out. I have a paid ChatGPT service right now, but it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of an issue for ChatGPT. I'm seeing on X, DeepSeek AI experienced service degradation caused by large-scale malicious attacks. Going back to this nasty price action, this will get you almost every time. The start of a broadening formation down here, making higher highs and lower lows. One end of the broadening formation to the other. Looks like we're about to take that high and expand that broadening formation again. And there we go. ML, imagine the ChatGPT model launched war on DeepSeek. AI wars. I can see that being the future. We got a little bit of a positive slope on this delta. We did just print a delta squeeze here. Looks like it played out. That was probably the best entry so far. However, my short bias kind of kept me out of that one. Look at that. Ran 73 points. Jesus. You got it, J-Waz? Kudos to you for grabbing that. That was nice. Yeah, we got both the 3 and the 5 ticking up from the power zone. 5 still being bullish and the 3 bearish. Another example of an entry on the one that aligns with the 5. Yeah, so the 5, let's see. The 5 was set in stone at 1040. So let's see what the 1 looks like. Yeah, okay, so 1040 is when it was locked in. And then the next higher low tick up was at 1043. So yeah, if you're trying to trade in line with the 5, perfect. Gave you a beautiful entry right after that. We did get a tick down from that upper power zone. That was a short entry. Kind of sleeping at the wheel here, though. Delta still underneath the confirmation line. Confirmation line still falling. But it is not yet in line with the 5. So if you're trading off the 5, I guess you'd still be waiting for a tick down on the 5. So we'll simulate this one. We'll see if this tick down from that power zone works. Looks like it already did. We would have got 80 ticks right there. Maybe got it. Looks like it's to the tick. JWAS plus a higher low entry on the 1 delta squeeze style is a decent setup in itself. Yep, that's true. You need to have that positive slope on the delta, though, which you do have by that point. The first one was questionable. Definitely have it on the second one. All right, that definitely would have got 80 ticks there. Looks like it probably would have got 120, almost 125. Working on 125. Man, I should have just taken that one. This market's playing with my head today. The reason why I said this is a short is because the delta is still under the confirmation line, and it's weak at the point that it ticks down. That's why that's a short. Then I'd have a runner on here, which would still be running. You know, another thing is this is the first tick down from the upper power zone since we had our confirmation line cross down here. That's usually a pretty good setup. As you can see, it dropped really hard right after that signal. Nvidia still not looking good. Well, that's quite the candle back up here. Got chop on the delta on the 3 now. So yeah, this would have been, for me, it would have been half off, 80 ticks down, another contract off at 125, which would have been there, and then a runner till this tick up right here. So the runner would have got out at about 20.5 points, it looks like. And what do you know? We took out that low in the Browning formation. That is the primary target. ATR still very high. Still looking for a short though here. Just went short there on that lower high, tick down. I don't get run over here. I know it was an up close candle, but usually that's a little bit of a discount. Man. Well, that's number 4 for me. So I'm just not timing it today. That sucks. All right, where's my here's my calculator. Well, crap, that's another 4 contracts at my full stop. That usually does not happen to me where I hit 4 full stops in a row. So I went from a very good day to a red day. Not a super bad red day, but a red day. Down 58 points. So I think I've had enough of this for today. I'm going to stay out, I guess, for now, unless I see something better in the charts. It sucks to turn a green day into a red day, but it is what it is. I'll be back later. So good luck to you guys. We'll talk to you later. See you later.
Oh, wow, look at that move. It's like one of those big Delta candles. I mean, who even trades those tiny candles anymore? I like big fat candles, I can't deny. When the Delta's green and riding high, when a chart spikes thick with a bullish wick, I'm glued to my screen, that's the trick. I want to bounce quick, can't let it go. Big Delta bars, let that volume show. I'm zooming out, yeah, that's my groove. Catching waves in a Delta move. Wanna trade slow? Nah, too tame. This market's got heat, I'm in the game. Delta skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries, stacking tall, no weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big Delta's not golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're bored. Give me fat Deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. I wanna break through. You know, don't you fold. Big Deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. I like big fat candles, can't deny. When the volume surges up so high, skinny trades can take a seat. Big fat Deltas are what I be. see that life is cause of my happy. Delta skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries, stacking tall. No weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big Delta's my golden key. Big Delta's my golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're aboard. Give me fat deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. I wanna break through, you know. And hold and play, don't you fold. Big deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. I wanna break through, you know. Then hold and play, don't you fold. Big deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right.